On this and to give us some perspective. Rahul, I was wondering for a bit how to introduce you. Author, public activist, you're so many different phases, but here I'd like your comments and your views on this very interesting move by the left government to offer 5 crore rupees to Pakistan as flood relief. Is this the left government getting really desperate in Kerala ahead of the elections?
3 points, G. The first thing, any human being's sadness or death is sadness to the whole mankind. I believe in that. So Pakistan is suffering, Pakistani brothers suffering. It's a part of us too. We should feel sad for them. The second point being, there is an implicit political strategy in this. And the tragedy of the second point is that this move, I would say, is anti-Muslim. Because there is a great implication, there is a hidden implication in the move saying that if you give some 5 crores to Pakistan, it will appease the Muslim minority in Kerala. I don't think the majority of Muslim voters is hardly concerned about Pakistan. But the third point is the left government is politically trying to unite the Muslim vote bank with them, which have been conventionally going for the other party, Congress party and the like parties. But the sad point of it is when Bihar is flooded, when Arunachal Pradesh is flooded, almost 60 crores of Indians are living under rupees 20 a day. When we have earthquakes, when we have floods in India, when our Indian brethren, when our blood relation Indian brothers are suffering, they are hardly bothered. When there is an earthquake in Gujarat, they are hardly bothered. Especially if it is Gujarat, they are never bothered. But if it is a flood in Pakistan, out of Kerala's economy, 5 crores, is a sad move, is an unfortunate move. Not because it is given to Pakistan, but it is given with bad intention. It is given with political intention. It is given with a bad mind. That's the problem.
A very valid point you're making there, Rahul, but I have to ask you, do you see this, seeing the developments, the latest developments in Kerala, especially the controversy over the arrest of Abdul Nasir Madni, do you feel this is a last-ditch attempt by the Kerala government to sort of bridge some sort of that ground that has been lost in connection with the Muslim community?
There is one thing, Madani is a not major leader, but it is a strategy by the left parties all over India and all over the world. The left, the extreme left, the far left parties is aligning with the far Muslim extremist parties all over the world. You can see there is a hidden combination between Maoism and terrorism, or ISI helping the Maoists in India. So what the left extremists, I would not say all the left, but still these kind of political left, what they are trying to do is, they are trying to have common enemies in the Indian states, in the American, in the Mossad. They are trying to find these kind of enemies, and they hope that, that's the reason you might be surprised. One of the major election agendas of Kerala is anti-Israel, anti-US propaganda, even in Panchayat local elections. So it is something like appeasing to the international Muslim mind, or what they believe to the international Muslim brotherhood, by aligning these, or by saying even Shashi Tharoor, one of the major agendas against or propagandas against Shashi Tharoor was he wrote for an Israeli newspaper. So it's a very clear plan. The clear plan is like Madani or other Muslim votes which they have lost. They believe by appealing and appeasing these kind of minority tactics, they will get the majority of minority votes. Right. I think it's a very degraded, inhuman and un-Indian strategy.
Alright, Rahul, stay with me. Jimon, you just heard Rahul call it a very degrading strategy as far as the Indian minority community, the Muslim minority community is concerned. But this is clearly vote bank politics that's going on here, at least this approach of the Achuthanandan government here in Kerala. What is the impact that you see on the social fabric of Kerala if this sort of appeasement is the line that the government takes?
As Mr. Jimon correctly and very brilliantly put it, this is a dual strategy of, sadly, the ruling party. Many political parties have their own tactics, but this is stooping a down low. Because even Mr. Achuthanandan is the person who controversially said by 2020 year, many hardliners and terrorists are planning to make Kerala a Muslim state or a Muslim majority state. So terrorism is growing in Kerala. You might have seen over the past 5 years, the majority of terrorist attacks in India were planned in Kerala. So in sort of appeasing to this Muslim mentality, rather than creating a secular mentality, or rather than creating an Indian identity or Indian mentality, this is the worst form of appealing. I would say this is anti-Muslim because it has an implication that giving Pakistan will appease them. It is anti-Hindu because many of our brethren are losing out in India. They are starving, they are having floods and earthquakes, they are not, Kerala government is not bothering. And it is anti-Indian because the Indian government should take care of these things, not a state isolated and individually should give an aid to a foreign nation. So it's unconstitutional too.
Alright, very valid point being made there. Rahul Easwar, thanks so much for joining us on the discussion today. Hope to have you back on Southern View. Thanks also to Jeevan Jacob for getting